Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this licensing hearing on Thursday, the 10th of March. Just a reminder of the protocol for participation. Only speak when invited to by the chair. All participating members to keep their camera on during the proceedings unless they are having connection issues. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand and direct all communications via the chair. Please ensure officers remotely attending that your mics are muted when you're not speaking. If you're referring to a specific page or picture in the report, please refer to the page number. If you're having technical difficulties, please use the chat function in Google Meet to alert the meeting. Please do not use the chat function for putting formal questions to the subcommittee or making any other comments. And any persistent disruptive behaviour will result in removal from the meeting. Can I have a nomination and a seconder for the chair, please?
I'd like to nominate Councillor Pouliot.
I second.
Thank you. Councillor Pouliot, you have the chair.
Thank you, Andy, and thank you, colleagues. I don't propose to introduce everybody, as I think we all know each other. So we have no apologies. Any declarations of interest? No, none. Thank you. We have no minutes to look at. I don't propose to run through the hearing procedure because you all have it with you and you know what it is. So I propose to move on with the hearing for the TENS for 119 Wallace Road, and I will ask the licensing officer please to outline the report.
Thank you, Chair. A temporary notice was given to the licensing authority in respect of the premises for 119 Wallace Road for an event to be held on the 12th of March 2020 from 2200 till the 13th of March 2020 at 4:30 a.m. Objections remain from Environmental Protection and the police. We have not received any additional information and I have nothing else to add. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Suba. No clarification. We'll go on to the responsible authorities case. I'll ask PC Neil Hunwick if you would start for that, please.
Yeah, afternoon. Thank you, Chair. We've received a temporary event notice for 119 Wallace Road for this coming Saturday. I've been inside the venue and it is an empty warehouse space. There's a ground floor and there's a first floor. It's a vast space, to be fair. We've had this 10. It was submitted on the basis that it was going to be for a private birthday party. However, the numbers that were given as attending was 350, which I think everybody would agree, but it would be one hell of a birthday party. As a result of that, we had some concerns with regards to how this event was going to be run. We submitted our objection document, which listed a number of things that we wanted so that we could assess the event's impact on the licensing objectives. Obviously, we had worries regarding public safety with regards to the numbers that are involved. We asked for more information about who was hiring the space. Was it for the premises user themselves, or was the premises user actually organising the party on behalf of a third party? We'd asked for a written dispersal policy, a noise management policy, details of the security firm that was going to be used, as they stated they were going to have 10 SIA on the night. And obviously we would need to know that it was a professional company, not just people dealing with it. And we asked for a number of other items of documentation. We've had no engagement from the premises user. They've not replied to our request for any of this information. And on that basis, we have no option but to object to the event, and would ask that it be counter noticed because we have no idea what this event is going to be. And that is our submission, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Any clarification, members? No. Could I just ask you, PC Hunwick, when you sent a document to the applicant? When was that done?
That was done within 3 days of it being submitted. I can give you the exact date. Just look on the computer. It's the same document that you should have. They get the same objections document, so it explains what our objections are and what we're asking for. And obviously, that's then sent from our email address, which has our telephone number and email address on it. So there's every option for them to contact us.
It's on the 9th of Feb, Chair. It's on the 9th of Feb.
9th of February. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Suba.
Okay, Thank you, PC Hanwick. And now we'll go over to hear from Gertch Patty, please, for environmental health.
Thank you, Chair. Environmental protection actually have similar concerns to the police, but we focused our concerns in relation to the noise impact that the event could have to nearby residents. So environmental protection, as part of their objection, asked to view a noise management plan and a dispersal policy. But as Neil just pointed out, similarly for environmental protection, we've heard absolutely nothing from the premises user in relation to this 10. So here we are in terms of coming to a subcommittee hearing and just hoping that it's not the 10 isn't granted, really, because we've had no feedback from the premises user at all. That's all. Thanks.
Okay, can I ask you the same question about how and when you sent your concerns to the applicant?
It was within the 3 working days. I'll just find you the date right now. Just bear with me.
It's on the 10th of February.
10th of February, okay.
Thank you.
So we're clear that 2 separate emails from 2 authorities went out on the 9th and 10th of February, and that's all. That would be it. That would the response would come to that document. Yeah,
That's
okay.
correct. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor Sizer.
Just a quick question about numbers in the area, residential numbers, roughly. You said it's a residential area and built up. Just roughly, what are we talking about?
Is that aimed at myself or Gertch? Sorry, Councillor.
So apologies, actually either, just trying to get a sort of feel. I know it's a residential area, but how built up is it?
It's basically, Wallace Road used to be just industrial units, and there's a number of bars that are in Wallace Road, and they've operated for a number of years. They employ, professional security, etc. They have dispersal policies. They move the taxis away, etc. It's recently become a residential area. There's a large block of flats that's now being built directly opposite these premises. They face onto both. Wallace Road is like a dog leg, and these are built in the middle. Face both dog legs. They're about 4 or 5 stories high, and I would guess there's probably 100 flats in there. The other problem we've got is this proposed venue is on the first floor of this building, and I'm not really quite sure what the roof is built out of. If it's just an asbestos thin roof, that the noise escape would be horrendous.
Thank you, that's really helpful.
Can we just establish for the public record that the applicant, Teresa Brown, was invited to this afternoon's hearing and has not made any contact confirming whether or not she would attend?
Is that the situation?
Yes, Chair, I can confirm it.
Okay.
I mean, it would seem clear to me that the scale of this event and 15 people working at the event mean that's not a private party, clearly beyond that. But even then, if you had submitted the dispersal plan, noise management plan that responsible authorities have requested, we would have considered it.
Mm.
Without those, I think we have to consider seriously issuing the counter notice.
Yeah, I think that's an important point here, is that this isn't just any old birthday party. This actually, I mean, we're promised, as you say, employment of a number of security and staff. PC Hanwick, I'm sorry, we've gone into a kind of discussion de facto, if that's through the chair. Yeah, PC Hanwick.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. This was submitted, a similar 10 by the same person was submitted for the late part of last year. It was submitted as a late 10, and Gertch and I both objected to it, and it was obviously automatically counter noticed. And from all accounts, it's the same 10 for a birthday party. And my concern is that this applicant is basically trying to run club events in empty buildings under a 10. Now, obviously, we would have liked some sort of engagement. The document you've got was also sent to her, so she would have had a list of all the things we were asking for. And normally we would meet somebody on site on this sort of application and talk through everything. But with no engagement and no paperwork to work off, we've hit a dead brick wall. And as Gert said, that's why we're here.
Okay, so basically, we'd like to make it clear that the that having a club night in an empty property is not per se impossible or forbidden under this process, but we would need engagement, as you say, and some understanding of.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way as a club that we'd never really dealt with before would ask for an extension of hours with a 10, that we would engage with them to make sure that the licensing objectives wouldn't be undermined. The same would be true of a blanket or just an open canvas event like this, provided they could satisfy us that it would be run at little or no risk to the public. And that's what we're missing on this point, Chair.
And I believe there have been other similar tenses held in this premises that haven't had objections for that reason.
That they were held in the basement, or the ground floor, which is like almost because it's an old printing press works. The floor between the ground and the first floor is about 2 foot of solid concrete. The walls are all solid concrete. That event went off last Saturday, and I went down there, and there was no noise escape. But this was specifically for the first floor, which is under a completely different roof, and that's why we asked for some sort of noise report as to whether the building was even suitable to be used on the first floor. And again, that was one of the items that were not forthcoming. And that's probably mirrored with what Gertch asked for as well.
Okay, but the event last weekend passed off and was
And that was held by a professional company that had run previous events at their previous venues. And we met them at the premises before that 10 was granted.
And
so all those things that we'd asked for this time, we'd gone through that process, Chair.
And there were a large number of people at that event as well.
There was in excess of 300.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much. Who else? Councillor Sizer.
Just a quick clarification, because I was a little bit confused about whether the applicant was wanting to use a DJ. Am I right that was on the cards as well?
Yes, the 10 does state that DJs would be used. The fact that they inferred that there would be 10 security indicated that obviously they expected some degree of crowd management would be required.
Yeah.
And obviously they then wanted to retail alcohol as well.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But again, it's not the fact of there being a DJ or the fact of there being lots of people. It's the failure to engage and make sure that this could be done safely and without noise escape. I think it's really important to stress that. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to say in terms of this item? I think we've probably covered, without the applicant here, we've probably covered as much as we need to. Do either of the responsible authorities want to sum up? I presume you're just simply asking us to issue a counter notice.
Yes, indeed, Chair. That's where we're at. There's no way the event can go ahead without all that paperwork and that discussion phase happening. It's too late to do that now.
Exactly. Okay. So, in the absence of any other final requests for any information, or that I will draw the hearing to a close, and we'll meet now to make our decision. And I'd like to thank those of you that have attended to give your evidence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Take care.